party people! Hello! It's Randy for Thunderhorse Descendant. I am here today with our last project, Project 4 from Bargain Bead Box, August, Peach Sorbet. That's what we got going on here. This is Project 4. So this is kind of like we said in the plan video, technically kind of a multi-strand, but it's more of like a converter necklace. So we're going to make a necklace that is, this is probably backwards for you, 36 inches long, but could also be worn 18 inches long. So that's our plan today. I've got a whole bunch of beads and things. We're going to jump down to the mat, check out all the stuff we're going to need, and get this party started. So let's get down to the mat. All right, party people, here we are down on the mat. This is our plan. So this is the last project here for August Peach Sorbet. And this is going to be a necklace, a converter necklace. So I have all my beads here. Let me just kind of lay them out so we can get a general idea of what we're doing. So these little parts here are chain, and I've opted to use this Beadalon, the Beadalon chain that we got in our mystery box. I don't know if you guys have been catching on to this, I've been including the mystery box items in some of these videos. So I really like this chunkier chain, and I really wanted to use it. So I'm going to have that here, and it is also quite hefty. Now you could use whatever kind of chain you want. It's up to you. For here, I have this link. This is something I pulled from my stash. It's just a round soldered link. You wouldn't have to use one this large if you didn't want to. I have my pendant here. We are going to put a leaf and a flower head. Where's that flower head at? Okay, we'll wire wrap that up. We'll probably start here with this so it's together, and then we'll get going on our business. Now, as far as I know, I said I was just going to string these, and oh yeah, we got to wrap up our leaves. So we'll get our leaves wrapped up. These are all the leaves that I have left. These, I really like these. I really do. So cute. So that'll be our second order of business, getting the leaves ready to go. And then all of these beads, which I'm just going to get ready. Are going to be part of the stringing. Now, here's the thing. You could make patterns if you want. You don't have to make patterns. You could do it willy-nilly, however you see fit. That is completely up to you. Completely up to you. Here's my thought process. If you are going to do patterns, I also have some randoms over here that are left from other projects. I'm going to go ahead and add these in and make sure. Yeah, so these were leftovers from other projects. I'll go ahead and add all those in. So I'm utilizing all of the beads because that's what we like to do over here at the Thunder House. And so these beads are going to be in this portion here, the beaded portion. And you can do however you want. It's up to you. If you did want to make patterns, I'm thinking what's going to happen is I'm going to make these beaded portions first. Okay, and I'm just going to randomly kind of pick a design if I want to, like if you wanted to, pick your design. Now, you're going to have to make each of these two the same, because when it's not like this and it's long, 36 inches, it's going to be sitting like this. So if you wanted it to be the same, you would need to make these two the same. Okay, so let's say we apply that rule to each side, and I only want to have 4 pieces of chain. And I'm ending here on chain. I'm fine with this. This is all up to you. You're going to have to, you know, figure that out for yourself. But I would go, okay, so I got 4 pieces of chain. I know I want that. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of beading. Okay, maybe you want more than 4 pieces of beading. Maybe you want smaller amounts of beading. Maybe you want larger amounts. All of that's going to depend on, you know, what you got going on. So, but depending on what you got going on, let's say that I wanted 4 pieces of beading. They don't all have to be the same. Maybe I want them to be the same. If you do, what you're going to do first, before you start anything, you're going to need to take these beads, take 4 cups or 4 piles, and split them evenly so you have enough for each of the little pieces of whatever you want to make. Okay? So that is completely and totally up to you. If that's what you want to do, you can do that. Okay, so maybe, I don't know if I want to do that. Maybe we'll just, as an example, I'll show you what I'm talking about. I guess I'll decide from there what I want to do. So here's what I'm talking about. In order to have enough for each side, you're going to want to split them evenly. Now, if you don't want them to be exactly the same, okay, because technically you're going to make 8. This might be a part that maybe you're not thought about. So technically you're going to make 8 of these. 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay. So you got to ask yourself, if I want them all to be the same, how many of the beads can each portion have? Okay. So right now, all of the portions have 2 of these quartz. Okay. So that's enough for all 8 pieces. Now let's go to the rhodonite. Now, like I said, if you don't want them to be the same and you're just like, this is a catch-all, they're going to be whatever, lottie-dottie, fine. You do what you want. Up to you. I don't know that I will make all of these the same pattern, but it would be nice to have the same option of beads for each side. Okay. So I'm just going around, making sure everybody gets some. Alright guys, so here's what it looks like. This is what I have left extra that was not coming out evenly. Now, given I did drop some of my beads on the floor, but you know. So here we have our 8 cups. So these 8 cups are all exactly the same, meaning for my little piece of beading, I could use all of these beads and make them exactly the same. So that is completely up to you. But we do have them split evenly. Okay, over here we have our leaves. We have 2, 4, 6, 8 left. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 left, so that's 2 beads per pieces of chain, right? These are supposed to be down here. So we can put 2 pieces on 4 separate sections of chain, all right? So we're doing pretty good thus far. Now, I'm not going to cut the chain because I'll be able to cut this chain to size based on what I do here with the beading. So I'm actually going to start with a beading. Now, I wanted to show you how I reuse some of my stuff when I have faux pas or whatever you want to call it. Let me zoom in here. Okay, so I have 8 pieces of Beadalon 19 strand beading wire ready to go here. And I did not sit down and do this today. This is something where I had taken some necklaces apart and I just cut them down to size. I mean, they're actually probably significantly longer than they need to be, but I cut them down to size to then again reuse the materials for this situation. So I have 8 strands here with the ends are done. I will have to finish them once we get the beads on, but this will make it significantly easier. So it's an idea if you ever do, you know, dismantle some of your pieces because they didn't sell or you didn't like them or something happened or whatever happened. You can reuse these, you know, for your bead projects because, I mean, it's not like they're bad and you got all this material here. So there you go. Now, I'm going to start with getting the pendant and the leaves wrapped up. I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it, and then we'll move on from there. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get these ready to go onto essentially what is going to be my pendant. And to do that, I'm going to first connect the pendant with a jump ring. What jump ring do I want to use? I think I will go this way. Just do a small oval. I'll get a couple of these out here. I'm in the process of switching over my findings down here in the basement, so things are a little out of whack, but here we go. So I'm using a 6mm oval jump ring, and I'm just going to attach this on to the ring. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. No worries. Now, if you wanted to add razzle dazzle to this little pendant, this strawberry quartz, you absolutely could. That's completely up to you. But I'm going to add razzle dazzle on the side here with my leaves and things. Okay? So that's what that's going to look like. Now, I'm going to create bails for these little leaves and things with a longer ball head pin, and I'm just going to use this as though for like wire wrapping. Okay, so in order to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this through the leaf, and I'm going to go to about the middle, and I'm going to grab a hold, and I'm just going to bend the back straight up, so you have this kind of V situation. Okay. So now what we're going to do here is we're basically going to go to the front, and I'm going to leave space for it to move around. I'm going to leave quite a lot of space for it to move. We're creating basically like a triangle bail. I'm going to try to show you this. So I'm going to grab a hold of this ball and just pull it up till it creates a triangle. Okay. Now you don't have to leave this much space. This is completely up to you. I like my leaves and things to have a lot of space, because once we get down here to wrapping it all together, I just prefer it to kind of have more space to move around. So this is, I'm just tightening up this triangle. Okay. Once I have the triangle tight, I'm going to go ahead with my chain nose. I'm going to grab a hold of it. Okay. So essentially what we're going to do is this part is going to be our main wire. So I'm going to put my, these are a little harder than others. I'm going to give it a little bend so that I can easily recognize this is the main wire. This one we're going to wrap around. Things are falling off the desk. Now you can wrap up, you can wrap down, you can wrap all around, whatever you want to do. Okay. But for the most part, I want to make sure that I'm going to get my ball up here in the front. And you don't have to do this. You could very well do this with wire. I just think that this is kind of a cute little thing to do, and that's why I do it. So okay, it doesn't have to be super tight or anything. I mean, this is a pretty sturdy wire, as we know. I just want to make sure I'm kind of getting the ball in the front. Okay, so you're just going to use your plier to maneuver that however you need to. And I just like it that it gives it kind of a little thing. Now this can move a lot, so I'm not worried about it like breaking or carrying on. And now we're going to do the top. So we're going to do the top the same way we do everything else. We're just going to come in with our round nose. Leave a little space. I'm going to leave about 2 millimeters. Bend it back, and go over the top. Spin the plier all the way around, apply pressure, and bring this around all the way. Now at this point, you could put this right onto your loop if you'd like. You know, that's completely up to you. You could take this and put it right on here. Okay, but I am going to attach mine with a jump ring because I want it to move around. So then I'm going to close that up, And I'm going to wrap this around. And you want to be careful not to be grabbing onto your leaf because you don't want to break the hole. So very carefully spin it down. And in essence, what we have done is we have created a triangle bail for this. I'm going to trim this off. And make sure there's no pokey parts. Looks good. And then I might have to give this a half a turn so that when I am looking down, I'm looking at the mat. Through the hole to the mat. Now we're going to attach this on. We're going to get our jump ring. We're going to bring our pendant back. Open this up. And attach him on. And we are on our way. Doesn't it look cute? Okay, because we spun it, it's hanging straight the way we want it to hang. Now we are going to do the flower. For this flower, I'm going to use the same little bead that I used last time we made a flower. It's just a little 4mm metal, actually I think it might be glass bead, I don't know. So you could use a seed bead, you use whatever you want. I am just going to use this. I'm going to put him on there. And I want this flower going up or down. I was going to go down. Now I'm thinking I might want to go up. I think I'll go up. Need another bead. I'll leave that one at the bottom. You could put a spacer there. I think last time I did this I put a spacer. Wait a minute. I forgot I had these. Perhaps one of these little bead kits. Oh, that's two. Oh yeah, that's cute. I like that. Can I use one of those on the top? Come here, you. I sure can. Alright, then I'll put my bead on there. Do I want to flip that over? Yeah, I think I do. So it kind of creates like a little cup for the bead. I don't know if you guys can see that. So I put him on there facing up. That creates a little cup for the bead. It's kind of cute. So there we go. Put this back. Okay, same thing here. I'm just going to wrap him. I'll leave a little space, bend it over the top, spin, apply pressure all the way around. Okay, again I'm attaching with a jump ring, so no need to do anything here. Spin this way and wrap. I'm just going to go down until it feels tight, like nothing's going to move around. I am going to cut the tail, and that's going to give us a little bit more, what do you want to call it? Condensing. So, work hard in the loop, and tuck the tail. There we go. Looking pretty good. So if you need to reshape your loop, you can do that if you need to. You can just kind of go like this, you know. And that should give you a little bit more loopiness, if you will. And then we connect him on. Now you could add other things here. You could add little, you know, droppy beads or whatever you want. Charms, perhaps, if you had some kind of little flowery charms. Which way do we want to go with this? Do we want to go here? I think I'm going to go on the side of the leaf. Originally, that wasn't really the plan. Maybe it won't stay like that, but I kind of like that. Okay. So here we are. This is what that looks like. If you put it on the other side, looks like this. Up to you, whatever you want to do. I think this kind of looks cute. Okay. So now obviously when this hangs, they're going to kind of bunch together. That's the point. Don't worry about that. No worries. What I'm going to do now, I showed you how to wrap the leaf. I'm going to go in and wrap up all the other leaves so they're ready to go so that we can go ahead and start doing some of the bead part. So I'm going to jump off camera and do that. I'll be right back. Alright guys, we are all ready with our pendant. And I've wrapped all of the leaves. Now this does take a little bit more time when you're wrapping the leaves up to do the little triangle doings. But I think it looks cute. So I'm not mad at it. Alright, so next up we have this all ready to go. I'm going to bring in my first round of beads. Okay. And we are going to connect on to the pendant. So I'm going to move these out of the way for now. We won't need them until when we get our chains accomplished. Put those over there. Okay, so this is this little split of beads. Okay. So these are the beads that I can use for the first strand. So what I'm going to do, since I already have one of my little strands ready, I'm just going to take it. I'm going to connect it on to the pendant, to the wire guardian, and we are ready to rock. Okay, so now all I got to do is, I did double up this string because this is 19. So now all I got to do is I just got to take a look at my beading portion, figure out what my little pattern here is going to be. And that'll be that. So I'm really not doing any rhyme or reason to this right now. I'm just putting them on there. Excuse me. Okay, and Shelby, and Garnet. Okay, so this is what it's looking like right now. Now I could use these other beads. I'm just debating if I want to do that. Is this going to be my little pattern? Do I like it? All those things. Yeah, I mean, I think this is fine. The only thing is that I'm going to probably not want to end on a garnet bead because it's smaller. And I want to be able to go back through the bead. So I think I'll just add a bicone to the top here so I can go back through there with my strings, and we will call that a day. Now, if you didn't want that to be weird, you could go back down here and add another bicone if you want to. It's up to you. I'm just thinking, like, is this the way I want to go, or do I want to add all of these? But I mean, we don't really have that much, you know. I am going to add a bicone down here because otherwise it's going to bother me. We don't really have to do that much because we're going to do 8 of these strands, so we only need to make 36-inch necklace, and this is going to decipher how our, like, how much chain we're going to use, because the chain pieces might not be even. Now, if you wanted to, you could do even pieces if you want, but again, those are all design decisions that you're going to make with your necklace, or, you know, whatever you're doing. So, just going to get this done, and then I will know the exact pattern of all of my strands. Now, you don't have to make all your strands the same. You could do them where you do like 2 that are the same and the next 2 are different. Again, design choices. I think I'm just going to make all mine the same, because why not? Because why not? Alright, so that's what it looks like. And I am going to go ahead and finish this up so you know how to do it. Okay, so we're going to get our horseshoe out here. We're going to get our bead cover. Why are these things all mixed up? Inquiring minds. This is a 3mm bead cover. I'm going to use a gold crimp bead. And I'm going to put my crimp bead on. You can use tubes if you want. I'm just using these because they were provided in the box. And then I'm going to go in my horseshoe with both strands. You just pretend that this strand is one piece. So you're going to put both of those into the horseshoe. And they will fit in there. Bring them down, make sure everything's even. Back around through the bottom of the horseshoe here. Wire guardian, whatever you call it. And then through the crimp bead and through this bicone. So now I can kind of hide the tail. That was the point of using the bicone on the end. Okay, now I'm just going to pull this down. Now here, you're going to want to make sure that you don't, because we are using 2 pieces of wire, you want to make sure everything is married up and not being weirdly, have some slack in one side or something. And then once you got that going on, you're going to just make sure that both of these strands end up in the top of your wire guardian, so they're not one sticking out weird or something. And there we go. Now we are going to use a bead cover, and that is going to take up a little bit of space. So I have no problem leaving a little bit of space here. Okay, like so. And then I'm going to come in with my crimper and give this a crimp, making sure nothing is twisted. and spin it and squish. There we go. Crimp looks good. Okay. We're going to go ahead and cut these off. And now we can put on our bead cover. So I'm using a 3mm bead cover. I'm going to load it into my chain nose right up here at the top. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I'm turning this sideways so it is the skinniest part, right? I'm going to put this on top. Make sure it's in there evenly. Put this on top. Okay, push it into my mat. Now you don't have to Hercules it. Just push it into your mat and then squish. This is going to start it out so that it gets, you know, to where it needs to be. And then you're just going to come in here and give it a little squish till it is of your liking and even. It can be sometimes a little bit funny, but there we go. All right, and so here we are with our first piece. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and do the one on the other side. Now I want to point out this is the design, okay, and so I don't know if you're getting this yet, but it looks like there's two that go this way and this is chain, right? Okay, in actuality, remembering that this is actually a 36-inch necklace, it's going to, we're going to have this here, we're going to have the same thing over here. We're going to work our way up. This part is actually at the very top of the necklace, okay? The chain is at the back, and on the chain is where we will put our lobster clasp. So when you grab a hold of it and wrap it around and connect it on, it will look chain here, but it's not in the beginning of the design. It is this and this, okay? These are going to both slide to one side because you get the jump ring on there, and then you'll have two. It'll go up and around and then clasp, okay? So I am going to go ahead and get these ready to go, just because we're just going to have to do that, you know, 8 times. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we'll start constructing it. Alright guys, so here we are. I've gotten all of my little pieces here put together, all 8 of them. 2, 4, 6, 8, yeah. Alright, so this is what, let me zoom in. This is what they all look like when they're finished, just like this. Alrighty. Now, I did go ahead and figure out the math on this for us. So if we want to make a 36-inch necklace, and we also want it to be an 18-inch necklace, and the little bead things that I made are 4 inches a piece, give or take, we're going to add jump rings, so. We needed the chain pieces to be an additional 4 inches, and if we wanted 4 strips of the chain, we would need to make the chain 0.5 inches, making that chain bits 5 links of this bead-along chain. So although these are a lot smaller than I initially anticipated, it's because I made my beading portions bigger. I'm not mad at it, I'm just letting you know. These are all the beads that we had left after I took out the patterns in which I wanted to do. So I still have some beads left, which, by the way, just saying, super cute little mix here. All right, so that's where we're at. We are going to now start assembling. Okay, so I believe I'm going to assemble this way as though we see it in the design. Just because my brain is working like that, and I'm like, okay, I can see you. So what I did, and this is important to note, so when you wear it long, this is what I was talking about. It's going to be going like this, okay? But I'm going to assemble it this way just because this is how I drew it out in my head, and I feel like it's going to work better for me. Sometimes I get in my own way and I just am like, this is what I'm doing. Now, when I disassembled my chain to get my bits, I ended up with some little chain pieces. I've decided to use those to connect this together. So we are actually going to get a little bit more length than we anticipate, but I think it's going to be fine. So I have connected these two. I've removed this jump ring, connected it with this chain piece, same with this one. And now we can go ahead and start assembling. So I have two little pieces of chain, and I need to connect those here. I also just wanted to point out, if you are like, oh, we missed a whole lot of what you did. All I did was the same situation over and over and over and over again. And you're more than welcome to rewind this and then go back and see how I did it in the video. Okay, so I'm just going to connect this piece on with this extra chain length that I have. I just didn't think you guys would want me to see me doing it over and over and over again. Okay. Same here. Gonna hook on into the wire guardian and connect on this little piece of chain. So the little pieces of chain again are five lengths, but when I'm adding these, I'm adding additional length instead of using jump rings. I think it's fine. I'm going to move on to the next set here, and I'm going to connect this one just by adding it back on to the horseshoe. Now originally I wasn't going to do that, I was just going to connect them with jump rings, but I think this actually works out really well. Okay, so now this is an important situation here. So as we're moving up, I'm thinking I'm going to switch over to doing it this way. I was going to do the whole thing that way, but I'm like, should I do that or am I going to get confused? We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so adding this piece here. And then after we're done with all that, we will go ahead and it appears I'm out of chain link jump rings, so I'm going to go over here and get some. Just to the end. Wherever the end is, there you go. And just keep going. Make sure I'm connecting the right things together here. Which I am. Going pretty good. So technically, once all this is connected, I will have 7 pieces of chain, which that is going to give us more space. It'll probably be longer than 36 inches, but that's fine. That means when we connect, it'll probably be closer to 20 the short way. So, you know. And then we will have to connect our leaves on. And it sounds like I might have to put a little grease on my plier here. Jeepers creepers. Okay, these are the last set. And then we got to get ourselves, I think I put away, they'd given us some stainless steel lobsters. Where did I put that? I probably put it in my little findings deal. I'll have to look at that. Okay. Now, a couple of things that you could do here is, now that this is connected, we're up here to the top, we have these 2 pieces of chain to add. Now, if you were like, oh, we added extra length and I don't really want the extra length, maybe you don't use both, you just use 1 piece. Whatever you want to do, that's up to you. I'm going to keep it, I'm going to connect them on, and then I'm going to find myself my lobster claw, because we're going to need to connect that up here. Did I put that little stainless steel guy in here, or where did I put it? Not in there. There he is. Okay. Now, oh, I gotta connect this on first. And so basically now we are up at the top of this necklace, and this is where I want to put my lobster. So I think I will connect him. I'll have to add another jump ring. I don't know if this one is, I'll get this chain piece to see if it'll fit through the lobster. I don't know if it's going to. Oh yeah. Okay. So now, right here, I'm just going to connect both sides. One on each side of the lobster. And close them up. Alright. We have to put on our leaves, but before we do that, let me put these away. Before we do that, let's take a look at the functionality of this and make sure that this is actually what we want. So I am going to zoom out because this is a longer necklace. Oh, my battery's going to die, of course. Okay. So here it is, long. Long necklace. We shall get a measurement, hopefully before my battery dies. 17 and 18. So 18 is actually 36, so it worked out pretty well. And then this is how you would go about it this way. Okay. Sorry about that. I had to change up all my battery and stuff. Okay, so here we are with the finished product, and we were debating putting on some leaves onto the chain. Now, this is the original design. However, I was going to do 2 leaves on each of the chains, right? But after getting it together, I don't think that we need to do that. I know, sad, we have all our cute little leaves wound up, but I'm just not feeling like this is going to be better for us, although it is in the design. It's a cute razzle dazzle, but I think for like comfort and just the overall functionality of the necklace, I think that this is fine just the way it is. Now, if you wanted to put one over here, maybe down here, you know, somewhere, just for an extra razzle dazzle, by all means, feel free to do so. However, I just don't think I'm going to add these in. It's just a little bit much. I know, very seldomly do you ever hear me say it's a bit much. But that's up to you. If you wanted to go here, I mean, this is very cute. Now, when this is not together like this, this is going to be in the back. Maybe as a nice back razzle dazzle. Maybe you know, put it over here. You know, maybe you like that kind of thing. It's up to you. Whatever you think you want to do. I don't think I'm going to put one, honestly. I do want to show this to you guys. I do want to show it to you on the forum so you can really see the whole functionality of it. But can I just point out, I really do like this. I think it's very cute and it's very versatile because you can wear it long and short. So here is the finished design, or the finished product versus the design. I think it turned out really good. It did take a little bit longer than I originally thought that it was going to take, just because, you know, designing with the math and the chain pieces. But mostly it was just like putting these little guys on the strung portion. And like I said, I could have had more chain if I would have used less beads, but I did want to use the larger beads, so, you know, there we are. Let's flip to the top camera so you can really see what's going on here. All right, guys, so I'm super excited about this. So here it is. I'll put it on the form and try to show you what the 36 inches is looking like. Let me make sure I got this on there the right way. Yeah. Okay. So here's your 36-inch necklace. So this might be something that you wear with a dress or with a plain shirt when you want to wear a long necklace. This is what you're going to get. Okay, and then this is what makes this convertible, is you're just going to take this off of here. You're going to go around one side and clip this on. Bring this to the middle. Okay. And there she is, short. Right? So cute. That's what she looks like. So like I said, couple of design things here. Like in the design, I have the chain here on the end. You wouldn't have to do that. If you wanted to make yours a little bit shorter, This is only a 1/2 inch shorter. So if you wanted to do 2 beads, you would just not add these chain here. And then what you would end up with would just be beads at the front. If I can get that to work out. Right? Like that. And that could be cute as well. I particularly care for the asymmetrical. As you guys know, I'm a big fan of asymmetrical. And I did like the length on it for the longer portion. So there you go. So these go together all the way around. You can wear it short or not. It still looks cute. And I really like it a lot. So, although I chose not to put on the leaves, I just think like it's, that would have been a little bit much, you know? Sometimes, as they continue to tell me, you just gotta know when to stop. So, although the leaves are cute, we do have them left, and then we also have that little smidge of beads, which would make a very pretty project. These are already wrapped up, ready to go. So, there you go. I will make a note in the front end of the video that we did not end up using all of the leaves. But I am very happy with this. I think of all the projects that I made, this one might be my favorite for this. Well, we only made 4. We made the 2 bracelets, this one. Oh, and then the multi-strand. Well, the multi-strand was they were all really nice. I liked all of them. So I don't know. Let me know which of the projects you thought was the coolest or was your favorite of this 4 project bargain bead box. We did do multi-strands, so we only got 4 projects, but that's fine. I think I'm very happy with how all of them turned out. So, but yeah, let it down in the comments. Let me know. Again, this has been Bargain Bead Box. This is the last video in the series for August. This is project 4. If you did not see the rest of the series, or if you're new here, you're just catching this video, we do the Bargain Bead Box Mini Series every month. And we do an unboxing video, a plan video, and then these project videos for what we make in the plan. So there can be anywhere from 6 to 10 videos, depending on what I decide to make that day. So if you missed those, check out the Bargain Bead Box playlist for Thunderhorse Descendant on my channel, so you can see all the videos we've done in the past. If you're new to Bargain Bead Box, we have been doing this mini series for, I don't even know, a number of years, so that all the past boxes are on that playlist if you want to see how long I've been doing this, and projects for maybe boxes that you skipped, or boxes, just ideas, or whatever you got going on. Head over to the playlist. If you do happen to watch an old video on the playlist, please make sure to like or make a comment so I know you guys are doing it. It's super fun for me. Anyways, I hope you're all having a lovely, spectacular, amazing beading day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.